Hello everyone and welcome to episode 66 of the WMMA 5 series here on the channel, as it's our first ever television show, our Pride FC Worldwide show. So we got the debuting Jens Pulver taking on Gilbert Melendez in the main event for the lightweight title. Should be an exciting fight, as should be interesting to see how Gilbert Melendez's reign goes, because that man is a fucking animal out there. We got the new rules, we got the extra for the first time, we're going to maybe see a third round fight in Pride FC in this series, as we're, added the extra round. So it should be pretty exciting. Instead of a 15-minute fight, we're going to see a 20-minute fight, as far as the time limit goes. Before we get to the actual card, as always, going through the mail. It's only 4 pieces, so it's not going to take a long at all. Sergey Karetnov joined Red Devil Sport. Mirko Krokop still wants a fight against Gary Goodrich. I think we're going to make it happen sooner rather than later. Because, Mirko, right now, as you see, I think we did change the, because it's 2007, I do have a 2007 picture pack. We did flip over to the 2007 picture pack. It's not really different. It's, a lot of the things are still the same. But there's still some differences between the two. So you'll see a couple there. But Mirko at 10-2 just lost to Josh Ronette at Final Conflict. It's a goddamn shame, but I think, him and Gary Goodrich, they've been wanting it for a long time now, as, we'll probably get it done. 15-15, the 10-2 is Mirko Krokop, so the records aren't the same, and I'm sure if it's going to be completely one-sided, like if it's like minus 1,200, maybe we won't let it happen, but, we'll try. It seems like an exciting fight, though, on paper, as Rafael Cavalante is joined Damian Maia's Jiu-Jitsu, and then Alexei Olenek joined Team Vistian. But as for the fight goes, as far as Pride FC Worldwide, let's get into the card. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. So our main event, we already talked about the main event, but the rest of the card, Nate Marcotte taking on Frank Shamrock, as Forrest Griffin taking on Scott Smith, Shinya taking on Kenny Florian, Diego Sanchez, and Jay Heron taking on, and then the last fight on the card, rather, Stephan Bonnar taking on Mark Hughes. Awesome, obviously the four, the finals of the first ever Ultimate Fighter of Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonnar, and then Kenny Florian and Diego Sanchez. Awesome that we'll be able to, show a little nod to the Ultimate Fighter guys with this first ever TV show. Just a little shout out them, obviously. Obviously, it's a much different world. The UFC in this mod, obviously, it's starting out in the year 2000. They're not like programmed to do reality shows or anything like that. So the Ultimate Fighter's not a thing over there. So it's just kind of our little way of doing it. I wouldn't say doing the Ultimate Fighter, but just giving a little nod to the original cast. And then we got Chris Leben as well on the card, taking on Melvin Manhoef, and Cain Velasquez making his debut, taking on Marcotte, which that's an awesome fight on paper. We'll see how that plays out, as Marcotte's got at least 20 pounds on him. As the main event, Jens Low Evil Pulver taking on Gilbert El Nino Melendez, the lightweight title, making his first defense as Gilbert Melendez of that lightweight title. It's the third time now that Melendez is main eventing a Pride event, as he has won 4 of his last 5 fights by decision. As the number 1 lightweight in Pride FC now, according to the rankings, is Jens Pulver, and Melendez is 7th. It's just kind of funny, he's the lightweight champion. He's the 7th best guy, according to the rankings, as Melendez does have a 7-inch reach advantage. This is Pride debut for Jens Pulver. Blurcat staff picks have no faith in fucking Jens Pulver, though, in this debut, and I don't blame him at all. Jens Pulver, listen, he had his success in the UFC, but here in Pride FC, this is going to be tough. That's a tough fight. Taking on an absolute savage in Gilbert Melendez. Nate the Great Marcotte taking on Frank Shamrock, 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And Nate Marcotte and Frank Shamrock, as Marcotte is ranked 13th, Shamrock is 23rd. As Nate has a 5-inch reach advantage on him. It's close. Blurcast staff picks have 4-3. As Nate Marcotte has just beaten Dan Henderson by split decision. He beat Lee Murray before that. His last loss against Anderson Silva, and then he lost to Chuck Liddell at the first ever American Bushido card. And he's lost to Vanderlei Silva. So really, his only last 3 losses since 2001, they've all been middleweight champions. So just kind of crazy. He's beaten some big names too. He's beaten, Vitor Belfort, Jeremy Horn twice, Rich Franklin, Dan Henderson. But that's a huge time. Let's see if he can lose to another middleweight champion, or if he's going to actually take out Frank Shamrock here. As Frank Shamrock, coming into this fight, he just beat Alan Goes at American Bushido 11. But he lost to Chuck Liddell and Ron Faircloth. They both have beaten Dan Anderson, so they have that going for him. And Frank Shamrock also has beaten Ice Cold Igor. But he's also lost to Vanderlei Silva. And he's lost to Merlio Ninja Hua as well. So that's some more statistics going into that fight. That's a hell of a fight, though. I can't wait to see how that plays out. As Forrest Griffin taking on Scott Hands of Steel Smith. As Forrest Griffin has won 4 of his last 5 fights by decision. Scott Smith is the 19th ranked middleweight in Pride, as Griffin is the 22nd. First time they have fought, Griffin's going to have a significant weight advantage, and the Blurcat staff picks have him having the advantage 5-2, with Harry and Tom B backing Scott Smith. Two guys, very early on in their careers, but Forrest Griffin 10-1. Scott Smith is, I believe, 11-4. Yep, and he's 12-3 right now in Pride FC. So he's got a losing record in Pride FC. He just lost to Alex Stiebling at Pride 32, the real deal by split decision. But he's knocked out Ronaldo Sabral, and that's pretty much the biggest name he's beaten. He's beaten Benji Radish, but that was at M1. Probably the second biggest name. He's lost to Ron Faircloth, Lee Murray, Andrei Simonov. But the Ronaldo Sabral win is pretty huge for him. As Forrest Griffin, his one loss being against Renzo Gracie, a body blow, his debut in Pride FC. He's also beaten Masatsu Yano as well, but as big names goes, Kazushi Sakuraba, it's not great. It's not great, but it's still awesome that their first ever. But I want to say both him and Stephan Bonnar's first fight in the mod was against each other. Just kind of destiny how that works out. But Yuki Kondo had a win against Yuki Kondo. He hasn't lost, obviously, since 2003. Should be interesting, though. I mean, both guys are looking to take it to the next level in the middleweight division. And it's a win. Both guys need a win desperately to advance in that part. As Shinoaki taking on Kenny Kinflow Florian. As Shinoaki submitted 3 of his last 5 opponents. As he is the 16th ranked lightweight in Pride. Kenny Florian is 24th. Kenny Florian's off to a tough start. With the lightweight Grand Prix starting off, he did beat Dennis Silver, but then it went on to lose to Gilbert Melendez, as Gilbert Melendez taking on Gilbert Melendez, not having an entire fight in 2006. That was tough. He definitely should have had a lot more fights underneath his belt, but here he is finally getting back into the Pride FC ring. Taking on Shinya, who is 6-2. He just lost to Tetsuya Kawajiri. So both guys have been waiting a long ass time. Tetsuya Kawajiri, or rather Shinya, has had 4 fights in 2005. They have a whole year off in 2006. Maybe he helped the body out, but he lost to Gleison Tebow and Tetsuya Kawajiri before. They both have taken on some big names, but they've come out on the losing end. Kenny Florian does have the Blurcat staff picks 5-2. It's Harry and Dan back in Shinoaki. Should be a pretty good lightweight contest, though. And Diego the Nightmare Sanchez taking on Jay. Aaron, as Jay trains at Team Quest, as Diego Sanchez over a record of 1-0 against other current members of that team. As Jay is the 19th ranked welterweight in Pride, as Sanchez is 23rd. First time they have fought in the Pride debut for Jay Aaron. As Diego Sanchez 4-3, so it's very, very close. A slight advantage. Diego Sanchez has 8-2. He's 2-2 in Pride FC. Just lost to Sean Pearson. He's lost to John Fitch. He's beaten Matt Serra, though, which that's a big time win. Matt Serra in the top echelon of really the Pride FC welterweights, and Carlos Condon as well. As far as Jay Heron making his debut in Pride FC, 7-3. He has just lost in his last UFC fight. That was back in May of 2006 by a rear naked choke. As far as his biggest wins, probably against Jae Suk Lim, maybe David Harris or Jason Black, but he's going to take on some stiffer competition, I would say, here in Pride FC in the welterweight division. Should be an exciting fight, though. The American Psycho, Stephan Bonnar, taking on Mark Hughes. As Mark Hughes and Stephan Bonnar, Stephan Bonnar, having the significant weight advantage, has the 8-inch reach advantage. Looking like he's going to get the win here, but he's 1-0 in Pride FC. He's beat Dario Matsue, which is not something to write home about, but he's been in rings since 2003, hadn't really, was losing a lot more than he was winning for the most part. Yeah, he lost 5, and then actually, I think he was right at even before going into winning his last 2 fights to get the call up, getting a Pride FC fight against Ariel Matsui, getting the win there, and now taking on Mark Hughes. And Mark Hughes, he's won 3 of his last 5 fights by decision. It's going to be a tough task for him, though. Mark Hughes, he's 2-0, hasn't lost yet. He's beaten Chris Leben and Ryan Jensen, both at American Bushido cards. So his first fight here in Japan, one was rated decent, one was rated poor, and they're both split decision wins. See what happens here against Stephan Bonnar, who's given up, the reach advantage and the significant weight advantage is Mark Hughes. It's going to be tough, but 5-2, though. It's not over, on the Blurcast stat picks. They still say that Mark Hughes has a bit of a chance to get the win here. It should be a pretty interesting fight, though, with the reach advantage and the weight advantage of Stephan Bonnar. It's Cain Velasquez making his fucking Pride debut, as it is saying that Mark Hunt is leaving Pride FC at the end of this. He signed an exclusive contract to Elite XC. With his contract being 2-4, it's kind of okay with him leaving, to be honest. And when his contract comes up again, we'll probably negotiate and probably bring him back in. Because I think he's going to get the loss here, so he'd be 2-5 after this fight. So that's why I was like, yeah, that's cool with him leaving. But Cain Velasquez, this is a huge debut for him in Pride FC. He's going to have to give up a lot. The significant weight advantage you saw early on when you saw the weights, the weigh-ins. Cain Velasquez has given up at least 20 pounds to Mark Hunt. But he is an absolute weapon of a heavyweight. Obviously one of the greatest, probably heavyweight fighters of all time, just from his cardio and from just, he was an animal when he was in the octagon. But here in Pride FC, it's going to be a little bit different. I think with the way the rounds are, I think it's going to really help him out and really play to his strengths with his cardio. Now, most heavyweights are used to fighting 15 minutes. Now they're going for that extra round. I think it's going to play into a factor for Cain Velasquez. It should be very, very exciting to see how he does in the new era of Pride FC. The Melvin Manhoef and Chris Leben. As Chris Leben hasn't won since October 2004. He has finished 3 of his last 5 opponents. First time they have fought. Leben's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, and this is the Pride debut for Melvin Manhoef. This is going to be an exciting fight. Both guys, have a stand-up background. As far as Chris Leben goes, 5-2. Beat Dario Matsui. Just, nothing to write home about. Then lost the split decision to Mark Hughes at American Bushido 6. And he also knocked out Rodrigo Gracie. This was probably his biggest fight. Well, I wouldn't even say. I think Mark Hughes is probably better than Melvin Manhoef. Melvin Manhoef, though, 8-2. Had a rough go of it to start off the mod. You're starting off 1-0-1 with the draw. Then you got another draw. Lost, so then he was 1-1-2. Started getting some wins, though, in Mecca and M1. He lost 2 straight. He beat Travis Luter. Then he went on a 5-fight losing streak in rings after we signed him. He lost to Omar Salioff. He lost to Rodrigo Hughes. He lost to Chael Sonnen and Jason Miller. And he's had good and great and even a fantastic fight against Jason Miller. And he won 3 straight, rather. He beat Young Choi, Crosley, Gracie, and Shoni Carter to give him a 8-2 record. Felt like this now or never to call him up. His record's looking okay. So we might as well call him up and have him take on someone. So he's taking on Chris Leben. Should be an exciting fight. Leben has the Blurcast that pick. 6-1 with Steve, the lone backer of Melvin Manhoef. Maybe he's, banking on a knockout. But with Chris Leben not having to fight all of 2006, another one that's kind of shitty that it took him so long to get a fight. But here in 2007, looking for a win. He's still 26 years old, still young as hell. So we'll see what he can do here against Melvin Manhoef. It should be an exciting fight. Should be an exciting worldwide card. There's not a lot of stacked, one-sided affairs. A lot of them are pretty even, so it should be exciting stuff. We'll see what happens here as a Holland kickboxer, Dutch kickboxer, taking on a Portland, Oregon native, Chris the Crippler Leben. Melvin Manhoef, 5'8", 205, 5'11", 205. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, both the guys not representing a team. Minus 230 for Chris Leben, plus 180 for Melvin Manhoef. Yuji Shimada's the referee. Our ringside judges, opening bell, touch of gloves to start it off. Both fighters step in to strike. Manhoef hits a left jab and also hits a kick to the leg. Leben hits 2-punch combo and then with a quick right and a straight left. They meet in the center and start to strike. Manhoef connects with left hand. As there's a 3-punch combo then to the left cross from Leben. As exchange of strikes sees both fighters fail to land anything significant. As two fighters come forward and engage. As it's interesting, they're both kind of southpaws, so that's, again, that should be exciting one there. There's a left hand and there's a right hand from Leben. There's a left hand from Manhoef before the right hand from Leben. The two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative. Nothing comes of it. There's exchange of strikes at relatively close range, but nothing really lands. They meet in the center. As he misses the big left hand, putting him off balance, allowing Manhoef to attack with a quick left hook. As they come together and strike. Right jab, but has a left hook blocked, does Leben. As there's a nice right hook from Melvin Manhoef. As that last shot may have caused a fractured jaw or some other serious injury to Chris Leben. Wow, as Leben backs away and almost falls down, looks like that last strike really hurt him. And there is a vicious right hand from Melvin Manhoef that drops Chris Leben, knocks him out cold. Wow, some knockout power from Melvin Manhoef. You figured that could happen. I mean, he is a dangerous striker, especially in that middleweight division. If he can go against someone who's also a bit of a stand-up guy and not looking to take him down to the ground, he can knock him out in an instant. You see there, could have fractured his jaw. That is dangerous striking. Does Melvin Manhoef have at 205 pounds? That is a dangerous man. Chris Leben, it's tough knockout. But Melvin Manhoef now 9-8-2. Chris Leben 5-3. As Melvin Manhoef name checks off his sponsors and thanks all of his fans for down to support him. Says he's very happy to cap his Pride debut with a win. So now our last prelim fight, Cain Velasquez, making his MMA debut, his Pride FC debut, taking on Mark the Super Samoan Hun, as Yuma, Arizona, South Auckland, New Zealand, 32 years old, 24 years old, 6'1", 245, 5'10", 265. Wrestling background, obviously, for Cain Velasquez. Kickboxing background for Mark Gunn. Both guys with no team. -120, +100, close on the betting lines. As Hideki Nagumo's a referee at ringside, judges there as round one begins. They both step in to strike. Velasquez slips past the right hook attempt and attacks with a few quick jabs that are followed by a right hand. They come together and strike. Hunt misses the right cross, leaves himself open for a counter. There's a left jab and a right cross that just misses. Throws a punch, but Velasquez was equal to it. As a clear opportunity, Cain is able to move in fast and clinch with them as Hunt gets caught with a knee strike to the body as they grapple. Another knee strike to the body as they grapple. A third one. Now is now trying to muscle Hunt up against the rope as Cain Velasquez achieves it, pitting him up against the ropes. He works in some underhooks, looking to take Hunt down. He's got it. Tripping the takedown as off the underhooks, gets side control of it, and is eating some heavy shots now as Mark Hunt. Some more massive fucking shots, and finally Hideki Nagumo jumps in and stops the fight. Cain Velasquez is a problem. Showing it already. Taking him down with the underhooks with the trip, and just ground and pounding him the entire time. Unreal. Dangerous man is Cain Velasquez. As he gets his, celebrating his debut victory in his debut fight, as he thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, and also thanks all of his family, friends, and supporters. So our opening up the main show now, the American Psycho, Stephan Bonnar taking on Mark Hughes, 11-6, 13-5, both from Illinois. One fighting out of Chicago, one fighting out of Hillsboro. Mixed martial artist, wrestling, American Kickboxing Academy, Ultich Fighting System. -130 for Stephan Bonnar, +100 for Mark Hughes, 5'8", 200, 6'3", 205. That 8-inch reach advantage. He's got 5 pounds on him at least. Maybe even is weighed in more. After the weigh-in, maybe he's weighing in a lot more now. The actual fight's about to start. Hideki Nagumo's our referee. Our ringside judges. Yeah, he's got at least 20 pounds on him, so he's probably fighting at 225, maybe 215, 220. That's major disadvantage for Mark Hughes. With the 8-inch reach advantage, that's going to be tough. His opening bell. Bonnar doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination thing with a body kick, as Hughes was ready for it and managed to catch it, and now looking to take him down the mat, he does so. Stephan Bonnar already off to a terrible start, as he gets the kick caught and is taken down, looking to get past the guard. He passes guard, but loses control of it momentarily. Scramble begins as Hughes ends up having to pull half guard, losing out in the scramble. As Stephan Bonnar looking to pass half guard to get side control. Hughes doesn't let Stephan Bonnar get his leg free, remains in half guard. Bit of a stalemate now. Both men trying to fight off, and they start off a scramble now. Scramble leaves Bonnar on his back. As Mark Hughes doing a great job already on the ground. They're really keeping it in his domain. As he pounds away with rights, doesn't do much damage. Blocks attempted sweep. In guard, Hughes is content just throw a couple punches to the body as he doesn't let Bonnar pull him in close to be smothered. So now Mark Hughes is the one smothering Stephan Bonnar. Trying to get past the guard. He struggles but cannot find a way to get past. Wow, they're just kind of stuck where they're at. As now Stephan Bonnar gets pulled in close to and scores a couple of short punches to the side of the head. Hughes throws some minor strikes, trying to get some double underhooks started. Does Stephan Bonnar doesn't get any control of that. As referee stands to back up. 2 quick punches from Stephan Bonnar, doesn't hit either of them though, as takes a chance and grabs Bonnar into a clinch, as he's looking to take his fight to the ground, as Hughes tries to pull Bonnar down into the guard, as Stephan Bonnar defends it well and takes control of the clinch, as Hughes gets caught with a couple of nice short punches, as Bonnar using some dirty boxing to inflict some punishment, trying to wrestle Hughes backwards against the ropes, as Hughes doesn't allow that. Looking as again, he's trying to wrestle him up against. Mark Hughes is doing a tremendous job wrestling with Stephan Bonnar. Giving up the weight advantage doesn't matter. He's still able to stop him, hold his ground, taking control of the grapple. As the Stephan Bonnar again using some dirty boxing to inflict some damage on Mark Hughes. As Bonnar again pins Hughes up against the ropes. A couple of nice right hands to the side of the head. There's a knee strike to the thigh. As using the wrestling skills to prevent Stephan Bonnar from throwing any knee strikes, looking to force a Muay Thai clinch. He does so. As from the clinch, there's a knee to the ribs, but it lacked power. As tries a knee strike again, but doesn't connect. But Mark Hughes is able to break free of the clinch. He finds an attempted knee strike caught, and the leverage allows Hughes to wrestle free out of the clinch. 60 seconds left in the round. Looks like we're about to see Hughes try and get some grappling started, but Bonnar was more aggressive, took the initiative. Punch for Bonnar fails to land. Bonnar slowing down just a little, starting to get into the gas tank now. That's not a good sign for Stephan Bonnar. He's still got 2 whole rounds left. It looked like he appeared to be going to try and get in close, but Stephan Bonnar took the initiative first, as there's some small strikes and kicks to the body, but Hughes defended them well. There's a 1-2, but doesn't land either blow either way, and Hughes gets a hold of him to end out the round. It's close, but I actually would have to give that round to Mark Hughes. I felt like he was in control for the majority of it. He landed the more strikes. It's only a 2-strike advantage and only 1-for-1 on takedowns, but Stephan Bonnar, he's got a long way to go if he wants to win this round. Wait a minute, final round? That shouldn't be right. Did I not switch it? That sucks if that's not the case. That shouldn't be the final round. We should have an extra round here. Hughes had looked like he was angling to grapple, but couldn't take the initiative, as Bonnar doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination ending in a spin kick. Hughes was ready for it and manages to catch it, as Bonnar hops on one foot trying to bounce, but Hughes tries to take the takedown attempt, as Hughes can't get Bonnar down to the ground, so he self-pushes him against the ropes, trying to smother Stephan Bonnar against the ropes, but he wrestles free and circles back to the center. Steps in looking to unleash, may have been aiming to get in close, but Bonnar aggressively took the initiative. Throws a quick punch, doesn't hit it though, confidently moves in closer, looking to throw some strikes. Hughes may have been aiming to get in close, but Bonnar aggressively took the initiative, as doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination ending a spin kick, as again Bonnar's too aggressive, and that last kick gets caught, looking to take him down. Hughes just drives him against the ropes, tries to maintain control, but Stephan Bonnar wrestles his way out of trouble and circles back to the center. Misses all the strikes in the combo, then with a kick to the body, seizing that chance to grab Stephan Bonnar, as now Hughes is trying to pick him up for a slam. Bonnar blocks it, as he's starting to have to push himself now, as his corner responds by urging on a little louder. Stephan Bonnar throws a quick punch, doesn't land though, looking to close the distance, obviously looking to strike. Jab is wide, scores a spinning back kick to the body. Hughes comes in fast, looking for the takedown, and he gets the single leg takedown. Stephan Bonnar pulls him off pulls guard off of it, tries to pass the guard, passes half guard. Minute left, looking to catch his breath. Hughes is content just throw a couple punches to the body now, trying to sweep from the bottom of half guard, but doesn't budge Hughes. Hughes pounds away, but Bonnar calmly deals with him, as Hughes blocks Bonnar trying to sweep, and that's the end of the fight. Yeah, I guess something got fucked up and it didn't save. That's great. But yeah, I think Mark Hughes won the fight. It's probably going to be another split decision win, funny enough. Yeah, there's Bonnar. There's Hughes. And Hughes, yeah, another split decision. I mean, this man is Mr. Split Decision. wild, and it sucks because it should have went to a split decision because there should have been a third round. God damn it. But Mark Hughes gets the win, 14-5. 11-7 will be Stephan Bonnar as Mark Hughes. Jesus Christ. Gives a name check to everyone at Melendez Fighting Systems, all of his favorite sponsors, and all of his friends, family, supporters. Showing respect, Mark Hughes praises Stephan Bonnar for skill of toughness. There goes the Nightmare Sanchez taking on Jay Heron as looking to get 8-2, 7-3. Jay looking to have his prior debut go off without a hitch. This is -110, +100. No team quest for Jay Heron, as both wrestling backgrounds, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and boxing on the other half. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Freeport, New York. 8-2, 7-3, 30 years old, 5'11", 183, 5'11", 183, 25 years old is Diego Sanchez. Big John McCarthy is the referee, ringside judges. Fight begins. Sanchez deliberately does not touch gloves. Steps in and grabs his opponent using his wrestling skills. Sanchez trying to push him against the ropes. Doesn't manage it though. Jay defends himself well, looking to muscle up against the ropes again. Can't do it, ends up being out-wrestled in the grapple too. Now Jay's the one trying to push Sanchez up against the ropes. He does so. He's got complete control of that. Looking to drop down low, wrap his arms around his opponent's legs. He does so, and he's got the takedown too. Sanchez pulls guard. As Sanchez pulls... Jay pounds away with right hands, but doesn't do much damage. His attack does see Heron get pushed away, though, right out of the guard, and he's now standing as Jay tries to come in and secure ground control. Jay dives in, but Sanchez pushes him away and starts to scramble, resulting in Jay being on his back, pulling half guard. Tries to pass half guard, can't keep half guard secure, and gives up side control, looking to get mount. Finds himself unable to get mount on the first attempt, blocks Jay, as now looking for Kimura, as Jay stops that from being applied, tries to transition to guard, but can't manage it. Throws a few weak-looking punches as he decides his next move. Jay tries to move to guard, but Sanchez doesn't allow it. Sanchez now attempts to move to mount, as Jay keeps Sanchez from mounting him. Jay tries to pull guard on Sanchez, but doesn't get anywhere with the attempt, tries to get the mount. Loses his control momentarily, starts to scramble, as Sanchez ends up holding a waist lock behind Jay, who's kneeling, as now he pounds away with left hands. Jay is eating some heavy shots, fires away with punches, several big shots now. Pounds away, but now the blows aren't really doing too great deal of damage. Oh, now heating it up some more as he pounds away, and Jay is having serious difficulty surviving him. He scrambles for position. As now Sanchez left hard up, facing Jay Heron. As sensing a knee strike is about to be thrown, Sanchez scoots backwards quickly and springs back to his feet. I mean, this has been a hell of a fucking fight. There's a 1-2 from Jay, but Sanchez will be equal to it. Now he moves in fast, looking to clinch, looking to muscle him against ropes. He can't fight it off, though. He can't keep control as Jay wrestles himself in a dominant position. 1 minute left. Jay hits Sanchez with a knee strike to the body as they grapple, looking to muscle Sanchez backwards up against the ropes. He achieves it, and he pins Sanchez to the ropes. And looking to go down low, take out both legs, as Sanchez blocks it, and he also turns around, so now his back's to the ropes. That's the end of the first round. Awesome display from Diego Sanchez. Definitely won the round. It's going to be tough for Jay to swing this one now, as shouldn't be the last round, but it is. Jab hits home from Sanchez, and he scores a left cross. They come together. There's a leg kick, but gets checked. Can't hit the left cross, as Jay's now starting to slow down a touch. Both fighters move and engage. He misses the left jab, but connects with the right hand. Hits the jab, it has the left hand blocked. There's an exchange of strikes at relatively close range, but nothing really lands. Uses the left jab, but while backing away. As Heron throws two quick punches, doesn't hit either of them, though, as Griffin moves in and grapples with Heron. Prevents the knee strike from happening. We get to the halfway point of this round. Sanchez is trying to muscle Heron up against the ropes. He manages it and controls it up against the ropes. With the ropes trapping Jay Heron, Sanchez looks to try and take him down by going low and taking out both legs. He's got the takedown. Heron pulls guard, looking to get past the guard. As he passes guard, but can't quite secure side control as Heron starts to scramble for position, and the scramble results in Jay having his back taken. He's got both hooks in. Minute left. Looking for the rear naked choke. He stops it. Looking for the rear naked choke again. And it looks like he almost has it, but that's the end of the round anyways. As Diego Sanchez, your winner by unanimous decision. Hell of a win. Tough debut for Jay. That's a tough fight, though. Diego Sanchez is a problem and a half. He is the nightmare. As a 9-2. Diego Sanchez, 7-4. Sharon, as Diego Sanchez thanks all of his sponsors for backing him, also thanks all of his family, friends, and supporters. He's then asked who would be interested in fighting next to the prize of Robbie Lawler. Better be prepared, he's coming for him. That is a hell of a fight, as Diego Sanchez proved to be a charismatic interviewee. As our next fight, Shinoaki taking on Florian. 6-2, 8-2, 5'11", 161, 5'10", 161, Tokyo, Japan. Boston, Massachusetts, 30 years old is Kenny Florian here, as 23 years old is Shinoaki, submission wrestling, Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu, Forrest, Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, minus 190 plus 150. Should be a hell of a lightweight fight. We shall see how it goes here. Referee Shimada, ringside judges. Aoki's fighting from a whole crowd tonight, gets a big cheer. Round 1 begins. Aoki deliberately does not touch gloves, as Kenny Florian can't connect with a jab, hits Aoki with a straight right, steps in looking to unleash. A punch from Florian fails to land. Come together and trade some leather, but neither fighter really does any damage. Steps in looking for the grapple, tries to wrestle Aoki backwards up against the ropes. He does so. As now with Aoki stuck against the ropes, Kenny Florian uses the trip takedown, an excellent outside leg trip too, as he sees Aoki getting thrown to the mat. Aoki gives up his back as he tries to get flattened out with a rear naked choke. Doesn't allow it though, as with the arm to go underneath the chin, as Florian blocks Aoki as he tries to roll him over. Looking for the rear naked choke, and again, Aoki stops it, blocks Aoki from rolling. Kenny Florian is in complete control here, as he is keeping him on his back, looking for the rear naked choke. He can't get it, as we're just going to keep it rolling, and he keeps on trying to roll, as he is not budging Kenny Florian. Finally, referee stands up back up halfway point. Aoki shoots for the takedown, sprawls it, great sprawl, steps away safely, fails to find home a jab, hits a nice straight right hand, hits a left jab, scores with the right cross. Aoki again shoots for the takedown again. Kenny Florian, it's crazy how the betting lines is 190 plus 150, because, this has just been all Kenny Florian. Exchange of strikes does not go anywhere. Connects with a nice jab, nice right cross, leaves him as blood is visible now on Aoki. His strike looks to have opened up a cut underneath the eye, looking for a takedown again, and again. Can't get it, as he gets hold of a leg, but Florian remains standing, hopping on the other one, looking to push him against the ropes, looking for a suplex, as he blocks that as well, and he turns Aoki to now his back up against the ropes. Now he's looking for the leg sweep. He's got the, this has just been complete domination of Kenny Florian. No problem getting side control. Few weak-looking punches, blocks attempt to pull guard, fires off a few punches they aren't throwing if any great force. Aoki tries to pull guard, and Florian doesn't get in with the attempt, looking for an arm triangle, defends himself well, tries to move the guard, but Florian doesn't allow it, and that's the end of the first round. All Kenny Florian. We didn't have to look to fight metrics, but we'll do it just for the fuck of it. So yeah, he can't get the submissions, but he stopped all the takedowns. Kenny Florian landed all the shots, he's got all the takedowns. Shinoaki is in a world of trouble, as the corner goes to work between rounds, trying to close the cut on Aoki. Last round. Shouldn't be, but it's what it is. Kind of got to start wrestling in the over-under position. Florian aggressively gets the down position. Hits Aoki with a knee strike to the body, another knee strike to the body. Look at the muscle up against the ropes. As Aoki doesn't let himself be driven back, though, and now he's got control of the grapple, as now trying to suck Florian into the ground by wrapping his legs around the waist, as, gets sucked into the guard. Looking for a triangle choke. That'd been nuts. Got his ass kicked the entire first round, started the second, suck him into the guard, looking for the triangle, but stopped it, as does Kenny Florian. Aoki pushing Florian away now, while defending the strikes right out of the guard, as Aoki hits a sharp kick to the calf. Oof, that is tough, trying to secure ground control. Aoki's too quick, though, slips away from Florian, starts to scramble halfway point in the second round. The scramble ends in both fighters standing facing each other. First time now, Florian's starting to breathe a little heavier. Aoki may have been setting up to shoot, but Florian again is trying to push the tempo. It connects to the jab, but misses the vicious right hand. Steps in looking to unleash. Jab lands, but misses the vicious right hand again. Choosing to shoot, and again, Aoki can't get the takedown. So he's now with Florian not going down. Aoki just has to push him against slopes, looking for the suplex. He's got the big suplex, manages to pull guard on it. Fires off some right hands. Finally, the first takedown. It took him just under 15 minutes, as Florian is in trouble with the strikes. Trying to catch Aoki with a punch that is off target. Aoki fires away with punches, but Florian doesn't take any undue damage. Aoki gets pushed back out of the guard, as left standing above Florian is on his back. Florian watches as Aoki comes in looking to get a dominant position. Aoki almost sneaks around, but Florian is unable to get a hold of him. Aoki strikes away at Florian, but can't land anything damaging, as Florian pushes Aoki away while defending strikes right out of the guard, and that's the end of the fight. As a unanimous decision win for Kenny Florian. That's pretty much a given there. It's a good fight, though. Really good fight for Shinoaki in that second round to come back and at least get something going, getting a suplex. 9-2, Kenny Florian. 6-3, Shinoaki. After this, as Kenny Florian thanks everyone connected to Enzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu for helping him prepare for the fight, and the sponsor supporting him financially. He praises Aoki for the tough fight. It's Forrest Griffin taking on Scott Hands of Steel Smith, 10-1, 11-4, Elk Grove, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, mixed martial artist. Wrestling, Roof Sport, no team for Scott Smith, minus 110, plus 100, both 27. 6'3", though, is Forrest Griffin, as both weighing in at 205. As Yuji Shimano's referee, I'm sure Forrest Griffin's going to fight around 225, though, if I had to guess. So yeah, Griffin looks significantly bigger than Smith as they prepare to fight, even though they weighed in exactly the same. We are underway, they touch gloves. Setting up for the excellent timing, Smith comes forward and shoots for the takedown. Griffin sprawls brilliantly, not only preventing the takedown, but pushes Smith onto his hands and knees. Smith gets up sharply, though, sensing that Griffin's about to throw a vicious knee strike to the head. Smith acknowledges some instructions from the corner, gets a curt nod of the head, returns to his full attention to the fight. There's a jab, but has no power behind it. Smith can't hit the step left jab. He scores with the right cross, though. Smith comes forward on the attack. There's a counter jab from Forrest, as fails to find a jab, but he hits Griffin with the beauty of a straight right. Hits a jab, but has no power behind it. Connects with the jab, but finds nothing but air on the big right. Steps in and works his way down the position in the clinch. As Griffin catches Smith with a knee strike to the body. He's trying to muscle Smith up against the ropes. He achieves it, pinning Smith to the ropes. As with Smith stuck against the ropes, Griffin tries to use a trip takedown. Outside leg trip sweeps Smith down to the ground, and he's weighs left on his back under side control. Griffin attempts to move the mount, as Smith fights the attempted mount off, and they wind up scrambling for position. They scramble, sees Griffin up against the Griffin up first. And he's quick to wrestle Smith up against the ropes. Griffin looking to secure a takedown, as Smith leaving is left hopping on one foot. He's got it. He gets swept down under him and is sent down hard as well. He takes the back off the takedown. Even as a body triangle applied, looking for the rear naked choke, and he's got it. Smith gets flattened down with the rear naked choke, has to tap. Forrest Griffin gets the win, 11-1 now. 11-5 will be Scott Smith. Great performance there from Forrest Griffin. As, man, he is going to be a problem in the middleweight division. Shocker. That's no surprise at all. But just awesome to see him doing well. As Forrest Griffin gives a name check to everyone at Roof Sport and all of his various sponsors. Then all of his family, then all of his friends, family, and supporters. Names a local club. He says heading there for the post-victory party, and everyone's welcome. Forrest Griffin is good in these interviews, knows how to sell himself. As our co-main event, Nate the Great Marcotte taking on Frank Shamrock. What a middleweight fight this should be. 17-5, 29-13-2, San Jose, California, Denver, Colorado, 27 years old to 34 years old. Frank Shamrock, 5'10", 205, 6'1", 205. Mixed martial artist, Nate Marcotte. Submission fighting, kickboxing is Frank Shamrock. As AMC Penguin lines then minus 110, plus 100. Another close one on the betting lines. So Hideki Nugumu is our referee. Our ringside judges, opening bell, they touch gloves. Marcotte is in trouble at a combination ending in a low kick to the legs. Looked like he was about to see a shot, but Marcotte stepped in fast and clinched. Looking to muscle Shamrock against the ropes. He isn't going anywhere, though, trying to muscle Shamrock against the ropes. Does let himself be driven back, though, and he gains down position in the grapple. Attempts to pick him up for a slam. He blocks that. Quick exchange of strikes does not produce any damage. They stand and trade strikes right in the center of the ring, as but neither fighter can really land a good shot. To stand and trade blows, and neither can land a damaging shot. Shamrock moves in, constantly trying to pressure Marcotte into exchanging strikes. Confidently steps into the pocket, throws a quick 1-2, but doesn't hit either blow. The two fighters get up close and start wrestling for position, as Marcotte aggressively gets the dominant position. Tries to wrestle Shamrock backwards up against the ropes. He can't do it, though, as he ends up being out-wrestled in the process. Shamrock tries to knee Marcotte, but gets blocked. Marcotte trying to muscle Shamrock against the ropes. He can't manage it, though, as Shamrock fought it, as he catches Shamrock with a knee strike to the body. He's trying to push Shamrock so that his back is against the ropes. He achieves it and pins Shamrock to the ropes. Dropping down, Marcotte skewers a leg and starts looking for a takedown. Shamrock is left hopping on his other leg, trying to balance it, as Marcotte using that leg to drag Shamrock down the mat where he gets caught. As Marcotte throws a few strikes, clearly just slowing things down so he can think. As he's trying to break the guard, Shamrock perhaps looking for the leg lock, as Shamrock stops Marcotte from applying it, keeping the guard tight. As again, Shamrock grabbing a hold of the leg, looking for a sweep from the bottom. Marcotte blocks the sweep, now looking for a leg lock. Shamrock again defends that well. Great job by him. I mean, both men are either looking for the leg lock or looking for the sweep. It's just a stalemate, though, at this point. Finally, the referee stands it back up. Takedown attempt from Shamrock. Great sprawl. Pushes down on his hands and knees. Looking for a kick to the body. But Shamrock scoots backwards quickly and is able to stand back up. Left hand from Marcotte. Quick punch. Doesn't hit it, though. Connects with a nice jab and then catches Shamrock with the right hook. Final minute left in the first round. Both fighters are going toe-to-toe with strikes. Neither fighter lands anything significant. As Shamrock can be heard talking trash, and it's a two-circle. They engage with strikes, and neither fighter really lands anything worthwhile, and that's the end of the first round. I would have loved to see this go to a third round, That's a great first round. Both men tick for tat, though. I mean, you've seen Frank Shamrock hasn't able to do anything. No takedowns, no strikes landed, no submissions, no sweeps. Marcotte definitely won that. We'll see what happens in the second. Final round, both fighters seem to have the same idea, come together in a clinch. Marcotte manages to come out and control of the clinch, trying to muscle up against the ropes. He does so, got him pinned, looking to go down low, grab both legs. It isn't ugly, but ultimately successful. Ends up on top of a turtle of Shamrock, holding him down in a loose face lock type of hold. As seeing Marcotte's about to throw a soccer kick to the head, Marcotte scoots backward and quickly springs back up to his feet. A jab lands from Marcotte, evades the big punch to Shamrock. Without taking too much damage, Shamrock again is able to clinch with Marcotte. Hits Marcotte with a big knee strike to the out of the grapple, rather, as using his wrestling skills. Shamrock's trying to push him against the ropes. Can't do it. Marcotte defends it well. There's a nice knee strike from the grapple. Catches Shamrock to the side of the stomach, trying to push Shamrock so he's back up against the ropes. He does so, and now Shamrock has him pinned. Second half of the second round, trying to take him down. Going low and grabbing both legs. That's successful. Shamrock pulls him down. As Marcotte tries to loosen the guard, possibly thinking of a leg lock, Shamrock maintains a tight, secure guard. Throws out some punches. Marcotte leans back to avoid him. Pounds away with rights, but fails on anything significant. Grabs hold of a leg, seemingly intent on trying to sweep Marcotte from the guard. Doesn't let Shamrock get the sweep, though. Minute left. Trying to isolate a leg. Shamrock stops it. I mean, just ultra focus is Nate Marcotte on trying to get a leg lock. As he's trying to sweep him, he isn't. That's not happening. Looking for a leg lock. That's not happening. And that's the end of the fight. Both men were just going for the same thing, was either going to sweep or trying for the leg lock, and both men couldn't. It was just a stalemate at that point, and I'm assuming unanimous decision win for Nate Marcotte. We shall see. Yep, that is. Yeah, I mean, it was a decent fight. I was hoping for a little bit more, but it was just kind of a stalemate the whole time. Sometimes that happens, though, with two evenly matched fellas. I mean, that's a great win for Marcotte, 18-5 now. Frank Shamrock, tough go of it. He's lost. He just had a two-fight losing streak. Beat Allen Goes now. He lost again to make it 29-14-2. As Nate Marcotte, 18-5 though. And he's going to be maybe a title contention. I mean, this has been, he's three straight. He just beat Dan Anderson, just beat Frank Shamrock. I think he could definitely have a future middleweight title fight in this near future. You can definitely see that happening. Giving thanks, Nate Marcotte praised his team at AMC Penguin, his various sponsors, and all the fans who came out to support him. He's asked who he'd like to face next, and he replies that he still hopes he can compete against Vitor Belfort. Maybe they'll have him take on Vitor Belfort, though. That does seem like a great fight. As our main event for the lightweight title, Jin's Louisville Pulver making his Pride FC debut against Gilbert El Nino Melendez, the new Pride lightweight champion of the world. 16-5-1, 14-2. Benedorf, Iowa, and Santa Ana, California. 24 years old, 5'9", 161. Jins Pulver, 5'7", 161. Boxing background. Listen, if he's going to have any chance of winning, he's going to knock him out. Because we already know the game plan. Gilbert El Nino Melendez is a fucking storm out there. He is a bull on a rampage. He is looking to take you down, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The only way Jens Pulver is going to win this one is by knocking him out. As Greg Jackson's mixed martial arts, American Kickboxing Academy, minus 340 plus 270. Kind of crazy that the lightweight rankings have Gilbert Melendez as the 7th best guy and Pulver is the first guy, but you see the betting odds. Very, very different. I mean, minus 340, that's crazy. Crazy. We'll see what happens, though, in this prime lightweight title fight. Big John McCarthy's a referee. Ringside judges opening bell. Pulver fails to find home as a jab. Then he catches Melendez with a right hook to the body. Can't hit the sub left jab. It hits Melendez with a straight right. Showing good hand speed. Pulver lands 2 out of a flurry of 4 punches and scores the right cross. Melendez is backing off. Hits a weak left hand, so it looks like Pulver's set the tempo early. Initiates the exchange of strikes. There's a left hand exchange from Melendez. Those are 1-2, but Melendez was equal to it. They exchange a few strikes, nothing really significant, as Pulver fails to find home his jab and hits Melendez with a sensational high right head kick, and he knocks him down with it. Holy shit. Jens Pulver moves in quickly, trying to finish Melendez off, stomps with kicks, as Melendez backs off, is back to his feet too quickly, though. Wow, I mean, this is nuts. Gilbert Melendez is in trouble. They stand and trade blows, and neither fighter can really land anything damaging, as he can't hit the sub left jab. Hits a nice straight right hand that lands hard. There's a takedown attempt finally from Melendez. He gets taken down by a single leg. Pounds away with right hands, doesn't do much damage. Tries to pull Melendez in close, peppering him with short strikes. Keeps him guessing a few quick strikes. Has to lean back to avoid the punches from the bottom from Pulver, as throws a few strikes without venom. Deflects a couple of punches from the bottom thrown. Trying to starts trying to work to get past the guard. Passive tempo results in a scramble as Pulver is trying to get back up to his feet as Pulver's left turtle up facing Melendez. Melendez does a nice job of job, and that the way it's read there as floating over and taking his back. As Pulver takes an opportunity to stand up and albeit under back control, as Melendez is looking to take him back down. Yep, unable to stop him. Just takes him down with impressive ease. He's got the back too. He's trying to get both hooks in, but he can't quite get it. Trying to sweep him, but he can't. Looking for the rear naked choke. Stops the rear naked choke from happening. Trying to move Melendez off of him. Trying to get both hooks in. I mean, I think it's going to end the round right here. I mean, this is... Oh, looking for the rear naked choke. Nope, he's not going to get the win. As, man, oh man. What a great first round. Jens Wolver knocking him down with the head kick. But, I mean, other than that, was dominant. Was Gilbert Melendez. After the knockdown, gained his wits about him. He's like, alright, listen, I can't stand here and box him. I got to take him down. If he has a dominant second round, he might be able to sway it, but it's going to be tough, though. Is Gilbert Melendez. I mean, those knockdowns do play a very big part in the fight as a whole. So we're gonna have to. He's got to do a lot more. He's gonna have to have an absolute dominant second round, really, I think, to win this one outright. You know, it might be a split decision win at this rate if it's still a dominant second round. As Pulver uses the left jab, but Melendez evades the big right punch. Comes in fast with weak punches, lands all three of them, and then catches Melendez with another superb right head kick and another knockdown. Not good for Gilbert Melendez, getting as Pulver moves in quickly, kneeling beside Melendez, start hanging him down with punches. Pounds with the rights was fails anything significant, as I don't think he's going to be able to knock him down, but he's got two great knockdowns there. Pulver throws a few weak-looking punches as he decides his next move, tries to move to guard, but Pulver doesn't allow it. Looking to catch his breath, Pulver's content to throw a couple punches to the body. Melendez tries to transition the guard, but can't quite manage it. Halfway point, inside control, Pulver catches his breath, condenses to a couple punches to the body. Tries to pull guard on Pulver, as doesn't get anywhere with it. Standing back up with a minute 40, as Pulver lands a left hand and catches Melendez with a right hook. Petr going to try and go in for a takedown, but Pulver again took the initiative first. Connects with a nice jab and catches Melendez with a crunching right hook. Looking for the takedown, he's got it. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. He's 3 for 3 on takedowns, throws a few right hands, it takes a moment to plan ahead, leans back to avoid a couple of wild swings from Pulver, and that's the end of the round. Would have loved to see this go to a third round, but I believe your winner, new lightweight champion, Jens Little Evil Pulver. Yeah, he did it. Wow. Winning the belt in your debut. Hell of a fight, though. That was awesome. 17-5-1 is Jens Little Evil Pulver. Gilbert Melendez. Tough go. I mean, that is... I would say... I would have loved to see what would have happened if there was an extra round, but I think it would have just been the same. He already had 2 knockdowns. Pretty much was winning that fight the whole way. But that was an awesome performance from Jens Pulver. Awesome performance, and I think a well-deserved win there. As he gives a name check to everyone at Greg Jackson's Mixed Martial Arts, all of his favorite spots, all of his friends, family, and supporters. Jens Pulver shows off his Pride lightweight title belt win. Says he intends on being a champion for a very long time. Is he at critical rating of 68? Commercial rating is 85. I think that's just because of the pop of some of the, I think Jens Pulver really didn't have a lot of pop in Japan, but I would say it's a successful show, though. I mean, the first ever TV, besides not having the round 3 added, he lost some pop. Maybe it wasn't a success. But I think it's still a great idea having the TV show. I would have loved had the change happened with the rounds, but an easy fix, though. That can be fixed. I don't know why I didn't save was the big thing. Maybe I didn't save it. Maybe I just was told... Because I remember showing that the change was happening. Maybe I didn't actually change it. As, go to the rules. As, it must have just not saved. As the, that's weird. Yeah, it should have been. Because, it should be, 1 10-minute and then 2 5 minutes. Huh. Wonder why that is. Huh. It's odd. Maybe because that card was made before the rules got changed? as I'm assuming is how that worked. That's weird, though, if that's the case. Well, that sucked, because, I mean, yeah, the rules have been changed, they just didn't change. Well, nothing I can really do there. It's out of my hands. That sucks. And thank you all for watching this, what should have been the changing of the new era, but at least we have the new TV show, but the rules didn't change. We got a new champion, new Pride Lightweight champion, and Jin's Pulver. So we'll catch you guys next time for Omega Bushido 13, the main event. Matt Hughes taking on Mike Pyle in a welterweight fight. No title on the line or anything like that. A little bounce back. And the next two cards are actually going to have no titles on the line, as the Pride FC's, the Worldwide 2 show. It's going to be Big Ben Rothwell taking on Fedor Emelianenko. Should be a pretty exciting fight in the main event there. But you see there that Pride FC, the third Worldwide show. Dan Anderson, Rampage Jackson. That's awesome. That's a hell of a fight. On TV, no less. Awesome stuff, as we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.